Round 2 takes place at the USU Botanical Center in Kaysville. We're going to see videos from Mike Kilcrease, Yo-Ping Song, Jingjung Chen, and Asmita Padel. Up first we have Mike Kilcrease, who's going to walk us through installing soil moisture sensors to monitor water use in tomatoes, as well as providing an overview of native woody plant propagation.
Hi, my name is Mike Kilcrease. I'm housed at the USU Botanical Center in Kaysville. I'm a research tech with CWEL and a property manager for the Botanical Center.
I never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my standing, go out of this world and right on time. Oh, never in my life.
Today we're going to be doing soil sensors, and we're going to be burying them at different depths, at 6 inches and 12 inches. And we're going to be doing them on 3 different raised beds, 2 raised beds, and 1 traditional bed. And we'll start with the soil sensors, and we're going to do tomato, so it's going to be the crop that we're going to do all 3 of them in. And so we'll start now by burying at 6-inch depth and 12-inch depth. These sensors are from a local company in Ogden, and it's called Morph Water Management. And we've been working with them for 3 years now on this project, and we went through. They've changed their engineering on a few of this is their new product from last year, and they've changed some things around. And like I said, this is the 3rd year. And with these soil sensors, it's really so we can see the depth and how much moisture we're getting, and we monitor all the water that comes in and out of here. And so it's really a really helpful tool on our water monitoring. Okay. This one is for. It'll really be ongoing, because we're starting to piggyback this project off another project that's in Logan, where they're mirroring exactly the same things and the exact same kind of crops and the exact same types of raised beds with very similar sensors. 6-inch depth, and we put them in just horizontally. Make sure they're packed in nice and tight, and that's the 6-inch depth. Bury this, and I'll come over on this side and do our 12-inch depth. And we're just about at 12 inches right there. Same as the other side, we'll just horizontally stick it in right underneath the root, underneath the plant. Now we've got the plant covered. We're right here with our 6 inches and here with our 12 inches. So we've got the root zone covered well on this one. Trying to get it in the root zone, really. That's just probably the most important, is just to get it within the root zone. So we got 6 inches here, and I'll do about 12 inches here. But I'll keep them really tight right in this area. These are first off, these are Rocky Mountain maples, and they are layered with. They've got sawdust layers on them, and what the idea is this is propagation and then by division. So what we'll do is, this year we didn't cut them back as much, because last year we harvested. And this year there wasn't the need, so this year we're just going to keep them trimmed back and pruned back, and then the next year we'll start earlier in the year. And what we do is we'll mound them up, and it's propagation by division. So what we're trying to accomplish is to get a daughter plant off of the parent plant. So we're just we'll mound up over, we'll lay them flat, we'll prune them really low, lay them flat, mound them up, and then the idea is for them to start rooting underneath the sawdust medium. You need to keep it moist underneath the sawdust, so that gives them a chance to root. And so you're constantly you're checking on them, weekly, daily sometimes when it's really warm and dry. So we're adding sawdust to them all the time and making sure that those roots that we want to stay under there, that we want to try to root, they stay there and they stay moist. And this is just the prunings. Today we were starting to, because we want to irrigate everything and keep everything regular irrigated, and they grew up too high. They were just too high. And next year there will be propagation on the serviceberry and on the oaks. Actually, I wish that I could be more involved. It seems like it's limited as to what we can do, but a lot of opportunities with all of the resources that I have, being the property manager with the Botanical Center. I have other employees that can help out as they've been, and we could do a lot more. We can help out a little bit more, I think, to just to support the research projects. Thanks.
Up next, we have Yoping's son, who is going to share his experience with SensorWeb's irrigation management system and how he's helping Pioneer Nursery in Ogden, Utah incorporate this water-saving technology into their irrigation management system.
I'm Yoping's son, an assistant professor in landscape horticulture with an emphasis in water conservation. Today I would like to introduce you a SensorWeb irrigation control system.
I never made it, but I know what it takes. I'm motivated by a mix of emotion. Got my statement, and I'm reading it slow so I can understand it fully. Appreciate my stand and go out of this world and right on time.
SensorWeb irrigation control system actually started from this campus scientific data algorithm. Here we got a campus scientific CL1000X. So this is actually just a microcomputer. You can programming to control irrigation system. They can do a lot of stuff. They can use this to monitor environment conditions like temperature, like light. It's very useful tool for the greenhouse and the nursery production. To build an irrigation system, we have to have a controller. So this is the controller produced from campus scientific. Now you have to have very good training to learn how to do the programming and how to wire everything together to make a nice system. The SensorWeb we're going to introduce to you are actually originally from this. That's all the components for SensorWeb irrigation control system. It's much simpler compared to the campus scientific one. So actually, SensorWeb irrigation system is a wireless sensor networking. It started to using modeling to predict how much when related to irrigate the plants. So this is the microcomputer. It's very small. It will connect the data and store the data here, and then use that data to determine when the irrigation should be on or off. This system was developed by a few universities, led by University of Maryland, University of Georgia, Colorado State University and Carnegie Mellon University. What this works. Now with this microcomputer is connected to radio. Now this is going to receive signal from the node and send a signal to the node. Another part, this will be installed in the nursery. So with a sensor that can collect how much soil moisture this data is going to send to the radio. Right? With the computer, it's going to process with a program. They will also determine when the system should be on and off. Can set about 3 nodes. Connected can be connected to 3 sensors actually. Connected can be connected to 3 sensors actually. The funded SCR project, people already tested this system in the nursery and the greenhouse production area. Actually, they found, with this system we can save at least 50% the water, and that is going to benefit the growers about $1 per square foot of the greenhouse space. Another benefit of this system is going to apply the water just amount the plants need, so the plants grow in an optimal condition, so the crop losses will be reduced from 30% to 0. In 2012, there are 125 horticulture operations in Utah that generate about 86 million wholesale values. So we try to introduce this new technology for people, for nursery growers, greenhouse growers in Utah, so that we can conserve water. As you know, last year Utah has set a goal of using 35% less water per person by 2050 as compared to 2000. 2018 we got funding from Utah Department of Agriculture and Food to work with Pioneer greenhouses. Pioneer Greenhouse is leading wholesale nursery and greenhouse producers in Utah and Intermountain West. The goal of that is try to let growers to see the technology help our growers here to save water.
My name is Aaron Gold. I'm part of the family, the Gold family that owns Pioneer Greenhouses. We are a family-owned operation that started in the early 1970s. Our 2 main customers are Lowe's Home Improvement and Costco Wholesale, and we produce annuals and perennials for them, and also our outside nursery. We produce shrubs, softwood trees, and some hardwood trees for independent garden centers across the western states.
So today we came over with the sensor web irrigation control system to Pioneer greenhouse, and hopefully we can install this here. As you see here, they are using booming system for greenhouse production for perennials. In addition to that, I think they also use some traditional irrigation system like a sprinkler irrigation system, drip irrigation system, and sometimes they also need some people, water manually. They are very dedicated to advanced technology.
Our goal at Pioneer is to continually improve our processes and to be a leader in innovation in the industry, and to, through processes, anything that we can do to improve and our efficiencies and the quality of our product, we want to do the best we can. And if that means that we cooperate with USU and Dr. Sun, we are just 100% on board.
Next, Yoping is going to cover water quality monitoring for nursery crops.
Alright, this is the water they are using for irrigation. For sampling, first let the water run a few seconds, and we're using that. Okay, this is the one. The water is very limited in Utah, so we try to use alternative water for nursery and greenhouse production. And this is Garden Gateway and Nursery in Hyde Park, Utah, and they are using artesian well water, one type of the groundwater for irrigation. With the support from Utah Department of Ag and Food, and we are collaborating with 3 different nurseries in Utah to look at the water quality issue. Because they are using groundwater for their nursery and greenhouse production. I try to work with them to monitor the water quality and develop some best management practice to reduce the soil damage on their plants.
My name's Moose Mountcastle, and I'm from Garden Gateway out in Hyde Park, Utah. I've been here for 18 years and have about 30,000 square feet of production greenhouse, primarily producing annuals, perennials, and vegetables. And grow about 95% of what we sell. Yeah, I've been doing this for about 25 years now. Went to Utah State, studied horticulture, and it's definitely my passion and my love. So Yuping approached me about looking at salinity in groundwater. Water that we're using, we use all of our water comes from an artesian well, and I have absolutely no doubt that salinity is an issue of some sort, and so he's looking to fund a project or do some research, just looking at that and looking at measures that we can do to control that.
Alright, this is a heuchera. It's very sensitive to salinity stress. I remember last year when I came over, I saw much damage on their leaves. And this probably the soil damage, like it's burn and necrosis on the leaf. Hosta is another plant very sensitive to salinity stress. See here, this one, yeah, leaf burn and necrosis at the edge, and you can see many here around.
But I'd love to see what you think of it when you get results back on it. I have a notion, especially with the hostas that I'm growing.
Yeah, hosta, I saw that.
Yeah, that we're seeing some issues with that, and I think we always have.
Enjoy this next video explaining how to graft pinyon pines with Larry Rep and Yoping Sung. Next, we have Ji-Jong Chin sharing a study using soil moisture sensors to evaluate water use of 3 different types of landscapes.
Hello, I'm Ji-Jong Chen, master student from CWEL, and today is Memorial Day, May 25th, and we are going to Kaysville. So here we are at the Kaysville, and in here we get 9 plots with 3 different landscape designs, which is low water use landscape, middle water use landscape, and high water use landscape. In each landscape we have different plant designs on that, and we want to test whether the water use is different.
Yes, I'll come back to you.
And so in each plot we have 3 different areas, which is turf, shrub, and trees. In each area we buried 4 sensors in the 4 different depths to test the soil moisture. So for instance, and right below this flag we get 4 soil moisture sensor staking in the different depths, all the way from the 80 centimeter to 5 centimeter. Therefore we can note the water from the surface of the soil all the way into the 80 centimeters of the soil. By using soil moisture sensor, we can decide when we are going to watering the plants according to the soil moisture content. So in order to make sure the recording of the sensor is uniform and good, we install the sensor carefully. What we do is, first we dig all the way to the 80 centimeter depths. Before we install first sensor, we will sieve the soil. Then we put the sensor onto the sieve soil, then sieve the soil again. Then we pack the soil gently and nicely to make sure the soil quality or soil property around the sensor is uniform. After that, we put some regular soil. Still, we pack it to make sure they will not sink after watering. Then, before we put another sensor, we still sieve the soil, put a sensor, sieve again, and pack it. We do that all the way from 80 centimeter to 5 centimeters in our plots. And also we're doing same stuff for the sensor in the turf area, in the shrub area, even in the trees area. So here we are near the data logger of our plot here. So the data logger here can help us to send all of data recorded in those 9 plots. Then they will store in here temporarily and then sent to Logan main campus. So apart from the water use data and the leachate data, we will also study the plant growth on the plot, and we will use the photosynthetic meter to measure the photosynthetic rate, gas stomata conductance, as well as the water use efficiency of the plant. and then we can know whether the water use efficiency difference from plant to plant. Therefore, we can give it the resident or the nursery grower better idea about which plant they should be used in the landscape to conserve water. We have a reference label in which we put the nails on a wood stick. Then when we install the sensor, we use the nail as a reference that we can make sure every sensor in the same depth, and the reference label in this plot right here. Since our plot just be established, therefore we need to have intensive care or intensive watering in these few weeks. So we have to come here to manually watering. So let's do that.
Yes, I'll come back to you. No, I won't ask where you run under the sun.
I'm just here. I just actually came in to water these, turn these on for you guys.
Oh, great, thanks.
Do you want me to turn on the irrigation or do you want to water them?
Can you turn on the irrigation but still water a shrub?
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll turn these on right now.
Thank you a lot.
Yeah, no problem.
It's Mike, he just come today. So he helped us to turn on the irrigations for the turf. He saved me a lot of time, but I still need to water those trees and shrub here.
Yes, I'll come back to you. Then I'll ask, what have we done under the sun? To be free, be away, big breath that you can't fake once you begun.
Our final video for this round is with Asmita, and she's going to show us how to propagate native plants using tissue culture. Okay, let's wrap up this round with a 5-minute question and answer session with our 4 presenters. It's a lot easier for us to keep track of questions if they're typed in the Q&A box versus the chat box. So if y'all would please type your questions into the Q&A box, it would be very much appreciated. If we have more questions coming in than we're able to get to during the next 5 minutes, don't worry, all of the presenters are going to stick around and be live at the end of the field day to answer any remaining or additional questions that come in.